or even create more plays that talks about us here in Micronesia. Guys, that pretty much wraps it up, and we'll see you on the next one. My name is Victorious, and all I gotta say is peace.
KUAM TVH, first on Guam.
KUAM News headlines are presented by Calvo's Insurance, protecting Micronesia for 85 years. Matson and the Adai Itano program. Apply at matson.com and McDonald's of Guam. I'm loving it.
Ahead on KUAM News Primetime.
Tonight, President Trump's big tax break bill advances with significant changes to Medicaid, and Mitsuki Hirayama speaking with Congressman Moylan on the potential impacts to Guam.
Office of Civil Defense Administrator Charles Esteves was charged with assaulting a woman in Washington, D.C. in March of this year. I'm Jonah Gincharfis, and coming up tonight on Primetime, details from court documents.
And former Port Marina manager Frankie Rosalind claims a demotion after a heated March incident with a GM was political. We'll have more from his appeal filed with the CSC.
Good evening, Guam and Hafaday. This is KUAM News Primetime. Thanks so much for live streaming us. I'm Jason Salas, and these are your top stories. And topping our newscast tonight, the House Budget Committee has advanced President Donald Trump's multi-trillion-dollar tax break bill that does include cuts to social safety net programs such as Medicaid. Guam Delegate James Moylan spoke with KUAM News Friday following a briefing on the massive reconciliation bill, as Mitsuki Hirayama has more on the potential impacts to our community.
Mr. Chair, on the vote, there were 17 ayes, 16 noes, and 4 present.
The ayes have it. The motion's agreed to. The one big...
As House Republicans push forward with President Trump's so-called One Big Beautiful Bill, which includes significant changes to Medicaid, Guam Delegate James Moylan says there won't be any direct cuts to funding for the island.
For the territorial Guam, status quo on the funding, the ability to have the coverage that they currently have.
But Guam will have to redetermine Medicaid eligibility at least every 6 months come October 2027.
Well, we have a huge deficit in the United States, right? So we want to bring that down.
The multi-trillion-dollar legislation backs Trump's priorities to include increased spending for defense and border security. It extends 2017 Trump tax cuts and makes $880 billion cuts to Medicaid, food stamp, and clean energy subsidies. 5 Republicans blocked the measure Friday, but a revote Sunday night or midday Monday Guam time advanced the bill forward one step closer to a floor vote. Under the bill, there will be stricter work requirements for Medicaid recipients to eliminate, quote, waste, fraud, and abuse.
And this is also in the future planning, so it's not until January 1st of 2029 that new and existing Medicaid recipients will need to show that they're engaged in work or education or community service for at least 80 hours. And this is per month, 80 hours per month.
There are exceptions for children, expectant mothers, people with disabilities, Medicare recipients, and those facing hardships. Democrats argue the stricter requirements will increase barriers to enrolling and renewing, causing millions to lose coverage. It comes at a time when local officials are looking to improve accessibility and eligibility, according to Governor Lulian Guerrero.
Yes, we are aware that Medicaid is not going to be impacted, but we continue actually to work with the Department of Public Health and Social Services to make the system much more efficient and much more accessible and easy to be eligible and to approve eligibility.
We asked the congressman if he is advocating against these stricter requirements. Moylan says the priority is to ensure those eligible continue to receive coverage.
So we have years to prepare for this, getting the paperwork ready and having people understand as we go along, and our agencies ready to oversee this, our government ready to provide the documentation and show proof on how this program will actually work. So we have time to help prepare.
According to Public Health, there are more than 45,000 Guam residents who currently rely on Medicaid. Mitsuki Hirayama, KUAM News.
Moving down in our rundown tonight, the head of Guam's Office of Civil Defense and a lieutenant colonel in the Guam National Guard faces serious criminal charges in Washington, D.C. Charles Esteves has been accused of assaulting a woman in a hotel room during a trip earlier this year. Jonah Goncharfos reports on the disturbing allegations.
A senior Guam official is facing serious legal trouble after being accused of assaulting a woman in a Washington, D.C. hotel room earlier this year. Charles Esteves, administrator of Guam's Office of Civil Defense and a lieutenant colonel in the Guam National Guard, is at the center of a disturbing case. According to court documents, on March 23rd of this year at the Washington Hilton, Esteves allegedly straddled the victim, his then-girlfriend, and the mother of his 7-month-old child, pulled her hair, and choked her, leaving visible marks. He also allegedly threatened to kill her family. The woman reported the incident weeks later, flying back to D.C. with her mother and child to file a report at the Metropolitan Police Department. She provided a secretly recorded video of the altercation in which she is heard pleading with Esteves to stop as he yells, "I don't expletive care." Detectives reviewed the video and confirmed its contents. She also submitted a copy of his driver's license as part of evidence. Esteves was advised of his rights in federal court and was initially released on personal recognizance pending further proceedings. A jurisdictional hearing is set for Tuesday, May 20th at 11:15 a.m. The Guam National Guard confirmed that Esteves was not on official military duty at the time of the alleged incident. According to Public Affairs Officer Mark Scott, he says, quote, "Since the alleged actions took place while the soldier was on civilian status, he is in the civilian justice system and is presumed innocent until proven guilty." Senator Sean Gumatau, chair of the Committee on Public Safety, Emergency Management, and the Guam National Guard, also issued a statement saying it's deeply disappointing. The judicial process is underway. Mr. Esteves is facing serious criminal charges and is presumed innocent until proven guilty. As of now, Guam Homeland Security and the Office of Civil Defense have not yet issued any comment to KUAM regarding the case. We should know that Esteves is also one of 6 Office of Civil Defense employees indicted in April over alleged overtime fraud. He pleaded not guilty on May 1st to misdemeanor charges of certifying officer malfeasance and 2 counts of official misconduct, all with a special allegation of committing a crime against the community. Jonah Goncharfos, KUAM News.
Also tonight, a former Port Authority of Guam marina manager demoted after a heated confrontation in March has filed an appeal with the Civil Service Commission, claiming his demotion was retaliatory and political. Once again, here's Joan.
Frankie Rosalind, previously the port's marina manager, filed a formal appeal on May 2nd with the Civil Service Commission, accusing top leadership of retaliation. It all stems from a workplace incident on March 12th, first reported by KUAM. Rosalind allegedly struck General Manager Roy Respicio's office door with a closed fist during a heated meeting, causing damage and public alarm. He's pleaded not guilty to a misdemeanor charge of disorderly conduct. Documents obtained by KUAM tell another side to the meeting. Rosalind claims Respicio, a close friend of his girlfriend and godparent to their child, used the meeting to confront him over personal issues, not work. He says Respicio was upset about rumors and allegedly told him to, quote, "tell her to shut up." Rosalind, in his report, said, "I felt threatened, intimidated, and harassed." Respicio disputes that, saying Rosalind became visibly angry and punched the door several times, causing $655 in damage. Fearing for his safety, Respicio says he recused himself from disciplinary decisions, but reports show he was still present during key discussions. Rosalind was demoted, not fired. Acting GM Dominic Muña reassigned him to a lower position, commercial specialist, slashing his salary to just over $52,000. Now Rosalind wants the Civil Service Commission to reverse the demotion and cover his legal fees. He argues the move was politically motivated and inconsistently enforced. We should note that while Rosalind still has a job, despite that heated incident, another employee in a separate incident was fired days later for merely raising her voice, citing the same zero-tolerance policy on workplace violence. The Port Authority hasn't commented. The Commission is now reviewing both disciplinary cases, decisions that could have wider implications for how power and policy are exercised at one of Guam's key agencies.
The time for a break is upon us, but please stay tuned because coming up on Prime Time, Programan Sinapak is bringing forth Chamorro language learning, and they're bringing their 4th cohort to Guam this summer. Ira Kitigo has more on a worthwhile program.
apartment next to McDonald's offers a variety of storage units. With rates starting as low as $95 per month, we offer complimentary use of dollies, push carts, appliance hand trucks, and pallet jack, with a fully covered loading and unloading areas and ADA accessible units. We offer 24-hour CCTV surveillance monitoring, alarm, and individual pin-coded gate and door access, because your safety is our priority. GU Self Storage, voted Pica's Best in 2024. Call 671-648-7867 today.
Win one championship, you're celebrated. Win twice, they call you a hero. 3 times, they say words like legend and dynasty. 4, 5, 6 titles, they'll say enough is enough. But when you've won it all 7 times, what's left to say? The trophy speaks for itself. Introducing the full lineup of Ram trucks. Ram, 7-time winner of Motor Trend's Truck of the Year.
Super speed your life with Docomo Pacific Fiber Internet. Get symmetrical upload and download speeds up to 5 gigs. Get started with Fiber 500 at $145 a month, Fiber 1 gig at $215 a month, or Fiber 5 gig at $299 a month. Plus, get 2 SuperPod 6Es with any plan, and a free EcoFlow River 3 and bonus welcome kit with 1 gig and 5 gig plans. Experience tomorrow's islands today with Docomo Pacific Fiber Internet.
Welcome back, my friends. President of the IOC, Thomas Bach, led a prosperous discussion for the Oceanic National Olympic Committee's annual General Assembly at the NICO. Attendees came from across the region discussing matters of financial management, solidarity, and the Olympic movement. He's known as the most powerful man in global sports and oversaw discussions sharing the vision for athletic competition in the future among a panel of delegates that included those from Australia and New Zealand. Now, Team Guam and the various sports federations in the GNOC are preparing for the Pacific Mini Games this summer, with the 2028 Olympics being in LA and the 2032 Games in Brisbane. Bach's term ends this month and last visited Guam in 2019. Well, congratulations are in order for over 300 graduates from GCC, as 329 students to be exact, celebrated during a commencement ceremony Friday at UOG. The GCC class of 2025 was as diverse as it was accomplished, with 43 earning their adult high school diplomas, 20 getting their GED certificates, 22 Journey Worker certifications, 76 general certificates, 40 associate's degrees, and 213 associates of science degrees. Among the highlights of the ceremony was a powerful message from the most distinguished graduate, Charles Oliger, who spoke directly to the heart of overcoming, persisting, and most importantly, achieving.
And for those of us graduating today, we know that our journey may not always have followed the traditional path, but it's every bit as meaningful, and in many ways, even more remarkable. Some of us came to this college straight out of high school. Others came back after years away from the classroom. Some of us balanced full-time jobs, raised children, cared for family members, or learned in a second language. Many of us did all of the above. That's the strength of a place like this. It brings together people from all walks of life and says, you belong here. You have something to offer. Let's build something together. And we did.
Also tonight, with many coming and going during the summertime, Programan Sinipok is coming back to local roots this June with its 4th cohort. KUAM's Irie Kitigo has more on this very important immersion program.
Programan Sinipok, a 2-week immersion program focused on the revitalization of the Chamorro language and culture, is bringing a 4th cohort back to Guam from Southern California this July 7th to 19th. The man who started it all with former student June Pangilinan, Michael Bavacqua.
It's from the community. It's from getting corazón. It's from the heart, from people's passion, and it has only grown in that way. So it just started off with one of my students who said, we need places where people who don't have practice partners, don't have family members, don't have resources to learn Chamorro, where can they turn to? Let's create a program where 4 years later, no one is paid to work in the program. It happens because of sponsorships. It happens because of people volunteering their time. And so that's why 4 years later, I am immensely proud that we're still carrying it out. You can't just look up Chamorro like it's a recipe. You can't just buy Chamorro like it's a necklace. You can't just tattoo fluency on your body. If you want the connection that your language represents to your, you have to submit yourself to learning it, which takes time. It means you have to study. It means you have to sit with elders and listen to them talk. It means that you might have to sacrifice some of the things that you enjoy doing in life to spend time with older people, to spend time studying, to go to class, to do this and that. And so what we want people to understand is that culture, there's so many ways that you can be Chamorro. There's so many ways that you can show love of your people, your islands. But your language is a very special, it is a unique, and it is an irreplaceable way.
Program Sinipug's purpose is to uplift Chamorro speakers and learners, but Vacua says it goes beyond knowledge and into the deeper connection of the culture.
Sangani Guaguan Chamorro, which means speak the wealth of Chamorro. Sangani Guaguan mo. When you speak your language, you are speaking the wealth of your people. And so that's one of the things that we teach people, is when you are learning the language of your people, you are learning the treasures of their past and their history.
Reporting for KUAM News, I'm Irie Kitakwa.
Now for a look at your world at home.
And tonight we are giving you a beautiful look at the Asan River.
Don't need to work break, keep the smile on your face. The moments you can't replace, and I'll be around. Whoa. You can count on me. You can count on me for life.
Wherever life takes you, we're always here for you. Calvo's Insurance. Count on us for life.
They could move back home.
Should we build on a honeymoon?
Yes. Yes!
First Hawaiian Bank knows that family comes first. That's why our bankers work with you to make your what-ifs a reality. Personalized service and digital tools, all under one roof when you bank on the best. First Hawaiian Bank. It all starts with yes.
Can somebody please help me judge this chicken?
Juicy, seasoned.
Wow.
Yeah, that's the hair.
Now, who you think made this?
I don't know who cooked it, but they know how to cook.
Boom! Oh, McDonald's! Yes!
Are you serious? You don't like Mickey D's? Okay.
Guess what? I got something special for y'all. Double dip!
Cause that nods mean people who love make crispy strips.
How you feeling now? Yeah.
Caught in 4K.
Make crispy strips, man, from Mickey D's. They here for it.
Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba.
Wesley kicks out. Simon, big three. Oh, baby! Mosley kicks out. Simon, big three. Oh, baby!
Ever whistled at a girl or at her?
Ever looked at a girl and said to your friends, man, the things I would do to her?
Ever got a girl drunk?
And had sex with her?
Even if she didn't want it?
Ever pressured a girl or forced her?
Just because you felt the urge?
Ever told a young girl, don't tell anyone, or we'll get into trouble?
Most men don't look in the mirror and see the problem.
But it's staring us right in the face.
Sexual violence starts long before you think it does.
Don't be that guy. And don't let your friend be that guy.
Don't let anyone you know be that guy.
Summer's here, Guam. Get ready for sun-soaked days with Kmart. From beach gear to backyard barbecue essentials, Kmart has it all at prices that keep your wallet cool. Stock up on snacks and fun kids activities to keep them entertained. Kmart is Guam's one-stop shop for summer fun. Plus, military and frontline workers save more with our exclusive discounts every day. Shop now for your summer essentials at Kmart, the 24-hour superstore. Summer vibes, Kmart style.
New training location confirmed. The Mariana Islands. Before and after training, you will identify and sanitize your tactical gear to prevent the spread of invasive species. If it's not native, it could be invasive. Leave invasives behind.
Guam's beauty is only surpassed by its hospitality. Please help protect it by not bringing any items that can have a harmful impact on the island. Remember, if it's not native, it could be invasive. Leave invasives behind.
Okay, everybody, if you love outer space, exploration, finding new frontiers, that whole thing, Star Trek, Star Wars, if NASA is your jam, there's a research internship opportunity. Check this out. You should apply for this because your STEM skills are going to be put to very, very good use. You could be a research intern for the Guam Space Grant. This is awesome. So make sure to get your applications in like pronto. That is going to be awesome. All right, Elevate. I've been telling you about this because it is super awesome. It is the Skip Entertainment Company's 41st year in existence, and they, at the end of the year, that's coming up real quick, so I want you guys to get your tickets, right? Check out guamtime.net to make sure that you support the Skip Kids as they have another amazing production. Elevate, not to be missed. And musical theater opportunities are coming up with my friends at Breaking Wave Theater Company. I run into them all the time and everything, and they have an endless passion for theater productions. They're going to teach you stagecraft, they're going to teach you production, teach you performance and everything, and you are going to really enjoy this. So please make sure to get involved with the musical theater workshop. That is your News Bites. Happy birthday to Nayani Rianne Cruz, Princess. We love you so much, and that's so with 4 O's, so you know it's awesome. I love that. All right, Lucas Castro, happy birthday number 2. Your family says, may you have the best day ever. Absolutely. Happy second birthday, Lucas. Avery Jubabata is celebrating birthday number 4 today, into our handsome little superhero, Peanut. You are 4 years of awesomeness, and we wish you a day of happiness and a lifetime of love. And turning 18 today, Mahana Vega Fria, who just graduated from Notre Dame High School. Hey, go Royals! Your family near and far sends our love and best wishes to you on this special day. You've grown to be a beautiful young lady, and we wish you the best in your future endeavors. God bless you always. Love Mom, Dad, and the whole family, and they say they love you and are proud of you so very much. Want to wish your special someone a happy birthday? Just click the QR code here on your screen or email birthdayclub@kuam.com. You know what, my friends? We have no more pieces of paper, so that means we have no more show. But, you know, let's go out and let's be good to each other. Be excellent, everybody. Have a pleasant Monday. I'll see you next time.
So, buenas and half a day, and welcome to the Women Rising podcast brought to you by KUAM Podcast Network in partnership with the Guam Women's Chamber of Commerce. I'm Samantha Taitano, and I have the absolute honor of being here today with two remarkable women who, throughout the different stages in life, found unmet needs within the community and developed businesses to help meet those needs. I'm so happy to welcome two of my really good friends, actually. Lonnie Tamandong, she is the owner of TGT Guam, and Gianna Pengalina Menglotnya, who is the owner of Guam Baby Co. and Accounting Management Solutions. So welcome, ladies, and happy belated Mother's Day.
Thank you. Thank you.
So today we would like to explore what your journey was, kind of coming into entrepreneurship, what kind of motivated you and inspired you. So I'll let either one of you guys start to tell us a little bit about your story.
You can go ahead. Okay, so my journey into entrepreneurship really was kind of just to really get into the childcare industry and create a higher quality care. I was working in childcare when my first son was born, and I wanted to be closer to him. So I kind of left my job and went to work in the childcare he was going to. And that's when I saw that there was a need for maybe a higher quality program. And I went back to school. I got my, I took a early childhood education, got my degree there, and decided later that, I wanted to pursue more and create a program that was a higher quality program for childcare. And that's how I got into the daycare business. That son of mine is turning 17 this month, so it's been quite the journey. But TGT Guam LLC, it is the Giving Tree Preschool Centers, and it's also Helping Hands Adult Daycare. So I got into the senior care of things about 4 years ago, when I did see that there was a need for adult daycare on Guam. We are the only private adult daycare on Guam. And that kind of came out of a need. We were taking care of, me and my husband are taking care of our elderly parents, and we are also raising our young children. So we kind of wanted to have a place where they can be during the day, where we wouldn't have to worry if they had had a hot meal or if they fell down, they would have assistance there right away. A lot of the times our parents, they're still very much, or want to be very much independent, and we don't want to, treat them like we need to be around all the time. But we did see that a lot of the times they still needed help, or at least supervision for some of their daily tasks and their daily activities.
Yes, and so May is Manunku month, and so it's really nice to highlight that as well. But also, I know that you recently opened a intergenerational daycare. If you can share a little bit about that.
Yes. So last year we did start the journey into the intergenerational daycare, which is located in Barrigada. Our idea was to have our preschool center right beside our adult daycare center. And so they have their own separate quarters, but we did develop or create a shared quarters where we would have our senior participants and our children come together maybe once or twice a day during programs to celebrate birthdays, celebrate holidays together, to do arts and crafts together, or just story time, just kind of have those few, whether it's 30 minutes or an hour in the day, to kind of get together and just be around each other. So, I have children, and I also have my grandmother who's still with us, and my children spend a lot of time with her when they could. But when we're busy with work and school and all that stuff, we don't get a lot of time the way we did growing up with our grandparents. So this was one of the ways as well that I would have my children be able to spend more time with my grandmother, their great-grandmother, and without my grandmother feeling that she would have to, or she wasn't fast enough to run after them if they were getting into some kind of trouble, or that she wasn't, able to provide with them meals. So they would be in a care setting where they would have teachers and caregivers there, and they would take care of all that stuff, and they could just concentrate on spending time together and just being able to be companions and grandma and we call it grand friends at the daycare center. So, when we want to put together the program, it's like, okay, it's going to be grand friends time where we have our grand friends come over for a little and spend some time with them. So the need for care for our elderly on Guam, it's huge. I mean, we are in the aging population where we have a lot of parents and grandparents that are all aging right now, and there just isn't enough facilities and there isn't any real resources for them. And so a lot of the time we find that we have to leave them at home, and maybe we have to call on them and check on them. Or I know some people even put up cameras and they're checking in on them there, but we kind of want to still make sure that they're enjoying their golden years and that they're very much still part of our lives. And so creating the intergenerational daycare, I think, takes care of some of those challenges that we're facing.
Yeah, and it's such a beautiful thing because I know there's also been a lot of studies that show the positive impacts that it has for both the kids and the grandparents, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think,
yeah.
Lots of positive.
Lots of positive impacts, the socializing and everything, but also, like you mentioned, having your children the opportunity to spend time with their great-grandmother. Mm-hmm. It's just an amazing experience. And so, Gianna, I know that you also started a business after having a child as well. So if you can kind of dive into your journey.
Yeah, so I went to school to be an accountant, and that's what I was doing when I first had Mara. But I mean, for this, so many things kind of happened. It was like we were mid-COVID, and so she was going to daycare, but I don't know, I'm sure you know, any slightest sniffle, any slightest whatever, she couldn't attend because we want to keep all the kids safe, right? And so, I don't know, daycares, they kind of get sick a lot. So I'm constantly out having to take care of her. And it's either I stay home or Dean stays home. And it was just getting a little bit difficult for us. And then at the same time, my pump broke. And so weird. So like my mom, the Guam Baby Co is really my mom's idea that I just kind of took off with. But my pump broke and there was nowhere on island for me to get replacement parts. Actually, there was nowhere on island at the time to buy any sort of baby products that were like high quality type things. And so from that, she was like, well, if you're having this issue, can you imagine how many other people are having the same issue? But I was like, Mom, I have a full-time job. Like, I can't just do that. And so it started off as an online only, and we did pickups at the Guam Museum. And then slowly but surely, with getting sick and having to take out, and then the popularity of Guam Baby Co rising, it was the perfect time to just really go on my own and see what Guam Baby Co could be. So yeah, it's life happens, and I kind of just rolled with the punches, and it came out to this.
Yeah, and I think that it's kind of a beautiful story for both of you. You guys both kind of started this motherhood journey, and you wanting to make sure that there was a high quality daycare services, and then you realizing that high quality products for mothers and children were something that were really lacking on the island. And so it gave you guys both this kind of great opportunity.
Honey, do you want some milk?
Do you ever wonder how your favorite products make their way into your local stores? Most arrive on state-of-the-art Matson vessels that transport containers of food, household items, equipment, and supplies into the islands every week. Because we know that you depend on us, we work closely with our partners to ensure that our shipments arrive on time, all the time, so you can find your favorite products when you need them. We transport the region's most precious cargo that supports successful businesses and promotes a better quality of life for our families. Matson is proud to have been the hometown shipping carrier for Guam, the CNMI, and Micronesia for the past 25 years, and you can count on us to be here for generations to come.
As we know with life, there's always ups and downs. So business always has its ups and downs as well. So I guess I wanted to, if you would be willing to share any of the challenges that you may have faced, both kind of like in business, but also balancing business and raising a family at the same time.
Okay. So I have 5 kids. My oldest is going to be 17. My youngest is 2. She'll be 3. So I definitely have a full house. Full heart, hands full, everything's full. So I kind of already accepted the fact that, well, there's no real balance, I've always felt that being a mother or motherhood has, instead of made my entrepreneur journey a little more difficult, it's actually enhanced it. Only because being a mom in childcare, I could really be empathetic and use that I'm a mom, discretion with things I do as an owner of a child care center. And so that's really helped me along the way, is that, well, I'm a mom and this is what I would want for my child. And I want what's the best for my child. So where there is, let's say, something that was kind of out of our policy, instead of being like, well, this is a policy and we stick to the policy, I'm like, well, I'm a mom and I know that these things happen. And so, I could use that to really just say, hey, you know what, it's fine this time. I get it. Life happens. We're moms, and I know how it is, In other areas, it's like I'm a mom, so I know how to be a leader to employees who are also moms, without them feeling like, well, I don't want to have to call in or tell my boss that I have this and that coming up. And all my employees know this, that family is like priority all the time. And I tell them that at the end of the day, it's not the job that I want you to think is up there. It's your children, it's your family, it's what you're coming home to. So it's very important. And I think that being a mom has enhanced and allowed me to really provide a higher quality program in the Giving Tree. And so I never think of it as, well, it's a balance. I kind of integrated it already by now. It's like the Giving Tree and my home life and everything. It's all just my life, I don't really, people will be like, separate work from your home, separate this from, but it doesn't really go that way when you own a business that's so much a part of who you are, because you put a lot of your beliefs and your morals and your values into it. So my day goes that I drop the kids to school, and then I'm at work doing the work stuff. And when it's time to pick up the kids from school, that's it. That's the rest of my day. I'm off at 2 o'clock because I'm getting the kids, and it's all kids after that. And it's worked out that way. And, I always make sure that with my employees and with our families, I always put that in the top of my mind, that the important stuff is the kids. That's children are our business in both work and at home. It's like, that's important stuff. So just never lose sight of that. And I think motherhood is a plus in my entrepreneur journey. It's like, yes, I got to be a mother. So I kind of have this idea of how to run everything else, and it kind of just adds to it. And when we sit at home at the dinner table with my children, they'll be like, Mom, this and that, and oh, we're so proud of you. And Mom, do you know that so-and-so said that their sister or brother goes to the Giving Tree, and so it kind of, we talk about it, and they ask a lot of the time, like, when did you start the Giving Tree? And when they were younger, they wouldn't really care, They would go to daycare, they wouldn't even care, like, they didn't know that I was the owner until they got a little older, and they're like, wait, do you work here? Or is this? And so it kind of grew with that. But a little background of the Giving Tree is, the Giving Tree is named after my first child's favorite storybook. right? So everything about it, like I was a first-time mom, and I was like, I want to give him the best experience, childhood experience when it comes to childcare. I don't want it to be where he's just like, oh, my mom's leaving me here and I'm scared, and we're just sitting around all day being babysat, or, you know, and a lot of times they may be going through separation anxiety and not able to adjust well. And so I really put a lot of heart into thinking, how can I make this fun and comfortable for not just the child, but for the parents? How can I make this experience overall enjoyable for everyone, for the teachers, the parents, the children? You know, we just have to make it a place where they like to be, and a place where they drop their child off and they know that, hey, you know what, these teachers, they love my kid too. They're going to keep him or her safe, and they're going to keep me involved and as a partner in this whole journey from the start to the finish. And that's where the Giving Tree and our whole partnership with our families kind of like took off. It's like we want to make sure that when they drop off their child, we're going to be letting you know throughout the day through our app and everything, this is what so-and-so is learning. This is what she sang today. This is how much food she had today. This is how many bowel movements, or, you know, if she had an incident, or everything, you're gonna know before coming and picking her up today. So you're kind of a part of the journey.
Those apps are my favorite. I love all the pictures you get and then like seeing them. Oh God, I love that there's apps now.
Wow, it's such a beautiful story about kind of how you've integrated everything, business and family. And then I love that your kids are like, wait, do you work here?
Yeah, so that's happened. I mean, it's happening right now with my 5-year-old. He's just realizing, like, wait, so this is your school? You know, like he went off to school and I'm still, you know, going to the Giving Tree. He's not there, and he's like, this is your school? And then we'll go to another location and he's like, this is your school too? So it is kind of like, you know, as they get older, they start understanding more and more that we're running a business, we're small business owners. But the best part about it is that we have the time to spend with our family. And I remember telling my husband, I was working at the bank before opening up my first daycare center, and I remember telling him, like, this 9 to 5, you know, and then we're missing soccer games, or we're missing so-and-so school thing. It just didn't sit right with me. And I remember telling him, and he was working as well. He was working in the government, and he had a great job, you know, that started us off and everything, and it was very comfortable. But after we opened our second location, I was like, I'm going to ask you to resign. And he was like, what? He was like, I don't know, are we ready for that? And I was like, I think we are, because, you know, we opened our first location. We had a wait list where we had such great feedback. It was running well. Opened our second location, same thing. But I did see that, well, whereas I had all the freedom to be present for my children, he didn't. He had 12-hour shifts. And a lot of it would be me sending pictures throughout the day. And I was like, I want Dad to experience the same thing that I'm experiencing it in real time. And I think that we can, you know, partner together and be able to do that and be present for our children. And so he did end up leaving his job, and we've been running it together for 9 years now. And it's worked out. Of course, just like any other small business owners, you have some challenges here and there. But for the most part, I think we have really learned to do the thing.
To do the thing and to do the thing together.
Yeah.
Nice. So Gianna, I would love to hear a little bit more about, you know, your kind of challenges that you've had, you know, navigating, I mean, obviously starting a business during COVID. Now that we're out of COVID, you've gone to a brick and mortar. And then, you know, also kind of talking a little bit about how motherhood has affected you as a businesswoman.
I agree with Lonnie. Work and home life is one and the same. If you've stopped by Guam Baby Co. on a holiday or a weekend, you might have seen Amara in her Guam Baby Co. shirt working the register. She loves to do that. Or you've seen her on Instagram. So I try to keep her involved with everything. I like that she sees hard work in action. And I hope that that's something that she'll keep forever. But challenges, of course, I mean, right now, I mean, the tariffs are really, the scare of the tariffs are really kind of affecting us. And I don't like to really get political or anything, but like a lot of our brands at the moment, they're raising prices nationwide. So if you've ever, our prices are generally Amazon, like their base price. It was very important to me starting that we weren't going to like jack up prices. I really felt like people on Guam deserve to get the good quality things at the right price. And so with that, it's been a challenge because I want to keep prices low, but the vendor, the brands, you know, they're forced to shift. And so right now we're in a pivot kind of time. So that I think that's been our biggest struggle, is to keep things reasonable for our community. And you know, shipping to Guam is one of our biggest hassles. I think I have mastered how to explain shipping to Guam. So like sometimes I have a whole spiel. It's like a standard response to how to explain how to ship to Guam or how to get things to us, just because a lot of times people just, one, don't know about Guam, or they just don't know that we have these abilities. And so I think that's a big part of what I do for Guam Baby Co. is explain where we are and how things get here. So that's been our biggest challenge. But we've obviously succeeded because we've had like amazing stroller and gear brands like Nuna and Appa Baby. That took us a little bit of time, but you know, perseverance. So yeah, that's our biggest thing. But in terms of being a mom and a business owner, I think like I'm sure you could speak to this, but multitasking and having to like do so many things for yourself, for your kid, like I think I've mastered the mental load. I mean, because you know, it's like, okay, I have to remember that Mara has a red and white first. She says festivals for school, or she has to wear something for this and bring this tomorrow. And then I have to remember that, oh, I have a team meeting, and oh, I have to make sure that this and this. So I think it's helped me like with my multitasking.
Do you have a productivity tool that you use that you can recommend?
Well, you know, God, that's such a great question. Because for me, that's always like a work in progress. Last week, I started implementing an inbox zero, which, oh my God, I don't know why I didn't do that sooner. But essentially, I've cleared out my inbox. I have tagged and categorized all emails so that every morning I take 15 minutes per business, and I have so I have like a to-do, review, follow-up, reply, and delegate. So every morning, take 15 minutes, no big deal. I like put what vendor or what client, or whether I need to do an action, it requires an action of me, or it requires me to just read. And then when it comes time for me to like sit down and do work, it's already so organized within my folders. So I'm like, okay, 30 minutes, reply to all these emails that just need a reply. And then an hour, I'm gonna work on all the things that need to be done. And then I'm not scrolling through emails. So that's very new, and I'm loving it. Other than that, our team, we use, so I love technology and I love apps. We use ClickUp, and that's how we all kind of communicate on each project. I mean, even down to like social media with our social media girl, shout out to Tossie. Like we plan everything, and it just makes it so much easier. Like if it's not on my calendar, it's not real, you know, all of that jazz.
I know exactly what you mean. This was definitely on my calendar so that I would not miss it.
Sometimes parenting can be hard. What should I be doing? The Guam Early Learning Council includes partners who can provide you with early childhood services and supports. We are here to assist. For resources and information, simply call 311 Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., excluding holidays. Early connection can change everything.
Guam's auto appearance specialist, Elegant Reflections, has been providing the automotive industry with professional detailing and car care products at its highest quality, from complete detailing, full interior detailing, exterior detailing, headlamp restoration, hand washing, seat and carpet shampoo, engine degreasing, undercarriage cleaning, paint sealant, fabric protection, paint oxidation removal, and so much more. Visit us at our new location. Call 646-5555 for an appointment. Elegant Reflections, Guam's auto appearance specialist, over 20 years of experience.
Taco Bell brought back crispy chicken nuggets, and I can't believe how good they are.
Why can't you believe it?
Because you're Taco Bell. Taco Bell.
Yeah, but a taco place can do nuggets, right?
Yeah, the Hidden Valley Fire Ranch is awesome.
Okay, they're good, but we're not a chicken place.
When did you guys become a chicken place?
Chicken? Can't a taco place do good nuggets? Are we not allowed to do both?
What do you mean?
You think it's cool to do both, right? Why are you looking at me like that?
Are they okay?
I don't think so.
We're totally a taco place that's a chicken place that's also a taco place.
Win one championship, you're celebrated. Win twice, they call you a hero. 3 times, they say words like legend and dynasty. 4, 5, 6 titles, they'll say enough is enough. But when you've won it all 7 times, what's left to say? The trophy speaks for itself. Introducing the full lineup of Ram trucks. Ram, 7-time winner of Motor Trend's Truck of the Year.
Okay, well, I just wanted to do just like a quick kind of, what is your latest win?
If you know yours, go ahead.
Yeah, it can be like life,
Actually,
motherhood win. It can be business win. It can be a combination of the both.
I just feel like I've been winning a lot.
You're like, I can't just limit it to one.
I just wanted to, put this out here because, so May is Mother's Day, and then they had the senior month. But we actually just had a resolution made for the first week of May to be Child Care Provider Week. So that was a big win because, they have the teachers' appreciation that we always go by. And it's like we're just kind of piggybacking on the teachers. And a lot of the times, like our childcare workers, they would go and try to take advantage of all these free drinks or discounts for teachers. But they don't have the DOE or a real teacher card. And then they're like turned away. And I'm like, what is it with, it not being recognized that child care workers and teachers are like the absolute, they are the foundation teachers. They are so important. And I just couldn't believe that it's been this long and there wasn't anything to recognize that, especially with all the hard work. We are watching the workforce's children. The reason why there are jobs everywhere else is because there's somewhere safe that they're putting their kids, and it's in childcare. So, me and my partner that got that all together rolling, we were able to get a resolution, and then there will be a proclamation later on this month as well, looking into the governor proclaiming it as Child Care Provider Week. So I'm excited about that. I think that's definitely a win for the industry to be recognized every year. We recognize them every day, but it's just so great that there's something like that. We also did, a personal win is, so in childcare, with childcare law here, in order to be working in the daycare centers, you need to have a certain amount of hours, training hours, and professional development every month, or every year. And we try to give it, monthly, just so that our employees have that continued support of professional development. But we don't have a training center on Guam for early childhood providers. So we did open GECA, Guam Early Childhood and Caregivers Academy. And so it is Guam's newest and only training center for childcare workers, which we have February, we're talking about it. And then end of April, we're doing our soft opening. So it's been great. I have a great team. And I just want to put that out there that a lot of my wins, they are not mine alone. I have such a great team. I have the best support in my husband. And then my employees, they really are the greatest. I'm a strong believer in delegation. So I know that I can't do everything, and I know that I'm not the best at everything, but I do know that I could find someone on our team that really is the best at that or really can do this, and trust them and give them the opportunity to really make it what it is. And we've been really able to get far and achieve so much based on that. So those are a few wins. Other wins are just that I get to spend a lot of time with my children. And that's a win that I'm just always so thankful for. Like my kids are very active in school and outside of school. And whenever I'm just able to bring them to all these rehearsals and recitals and games and be a part of it, I'm not going to lie, I still get pinch me moments. I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm doing this. Oh my gosh, I can't believe he's going to be 16 or 17. Oh my gosh, I can't believe that he's in violin. Oh my gosh. Like I get a lot of oh my gosh moments where I'm like, my husband's probably like, because I'm like, oh my gosh, could you believe this? Could you believe this? And it's really just all the things going on in our kids' lives. But I'm just so happy that I'm so present in the moment. And I just think that that's like the biggest win of all, is how present I can be in my kids' lives.
Definitely. Gianna?
My biggest win has nothing to do with work, but my daughter loves when we read at night. And just last week or 2 weeks ago, she started reading. And now she's like reading little stories. So I love that. It's like huge. So yeah.
Yay.
Has nothing to do with work.
And that's okay.
Yeah. Like what you said, I do love that I get to be present. So it's kind of like a perpetual win, as you know, I have the time to take her to dance, to take her to gymnastics, and I get time to be really present as a mom. And I think that's like the best thing ever.
It really is. I mean, yeah, it really is.
Well, thank you, ladies, so much for sharing your stories, your wisdom, for everything that you guys both do for the community. It's been so wonderful having you on today. So thank you, and join us next month for another empowering episode of Women Rising, where we really get to talk to some inspiring women here in our community who are making big impact while running their businesses. Thank you.
Half a day. I'm Rachel Davis, Executive Director of the Guam Women's Chamber of Commerce, and thank you so much for joining us for this powerful episode, Stronger Families and a More Sustainable Island Community. Our featured voices today, like Melani Tumandang and Gianna Pangilinan, are living proof of how women-led innovation and compassion shape the region in lasting ways. And as a chamber, we're proud to continue amplifying voices like theirs and yours. This is just the beginning. Stay with us each episode as we rise together, sharing stories, wisdoms, and the vision for a Guam where women thrive in every stage of life and leadership. From all of us at the Guam Women's Chamber of Commerce, keep rising, keep shining. When women rise, our entire island rises with us. Si Diyos Maasi, and we'll see you next time on Women Rising.
Women Rising on the KUAM Podcast Network is produced by the Guam Women's Chamber of Commerce. Learn more about the GWCC by visiting their website, www.guamwomenschamber.com, or any